Hi, in this video we're going to be showing you how to assemble this sideboard. But before we get started, here's a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver. Another person can be helpful. Estimated time for assembly is 60 minutes with 2 people and a bit longer with 1. And just be sure all the pieces are facing the right way as you're putting it together and you'll do great. We are going to focus on the trickier parts and go quickly through the easier steps. So make sure you pause the video and complete all the steps as we go. So let's get into it. In step 1, we have piece 1 and piece 3, and we'll be putting in our cam bolts and our door stops. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 2, we'll be putting dowels in pieces 2 and 6. And just make sure that you put a drop of glue in each hole before you put the dowel in. Okay, we're good to move on. In steps 3 and 4, we'll be putting cam bolts and dowels into pieces 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, we're good to move on. In steps 5 and 6, we'll put together the pieces from the previous steps. In this step, it's important to make sure that you have the correct pieces grouped together. So that's pieces 4, 9, and 10, and 5, 11, and 12. When putting these pieces together, you want to make sure that this tapered edge here is on the same side as these cam bolts on both pieces. And you also want to be sure that this slanted edge is facing up. So everything should go together like this. And then we can put in our cam locks. Okay, and we're good to move on. In step 7, we'll put together pieces 2 and 3. Now with this step, just make sure that you have this overhang on piece 3 so that it's facing up. We'll put these two together, and then we can put in our cam locks. Okay, once those are together, we can move on to step 8 and attach the foot. So we'll stand up piece 2 like this. And then you want to make sure to attach this leg so that it's on the same side as this overhang. So we'll line it up with this hole, and then we can tighten our bolt all the way. Okay, and we're good to move on. In steps 9 through 11, we'll be attaching pieces 4, 5, and 6 to piece 2. So first, we'll stand up piece 2. And we'll stand it up so that this groove on the piece is on the same side as it is on piece 2. And we also want to make sure that these cam lock holes are facing away from the piece. So I'll line this up in the center. And then we can put our 2 bolts in through the back. Okay, and now we can stand up pieces 4 and 5. Just make sure that you have these legs facing down. And then we'll line up these cam bolts. And now we can put our cam locks in the bottom. Okay, and we're good to move on. In step 12, we'll attach our brackets to the corners. So we'll just line our bracket up in here. And then we can put in our 2 screws. Okay, and once you've done the other side, then you're good to move on. In step 13, we'll be inserting the back panels. And when you do this, you just want to make sure that you have this tape facing the back side of the piece and this little notch facing the bottom. Okay, now we can do the other one. Okay, and once we have both of those in, then we're good to move on to step 14, and we'll put on the top piece. And when you attach piece 1, you just want to make sure that you have the groove on the inside on the same side as these back panels. All right, and once we have the top piece on, we can go ahead and put in our cam locks. All right, once you have those all in, then we're good to move on. In step 15, we'll be inserting the wedges into the back panels. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 16, you'll be putting on the stickers over all of your cam locks, but we're going to move on to step 17 and insert our shelves. So first we'll want to put in all of our pins. We're going to put these in the middle holes, but you can pick whatever height you want. Okay, now we can put in our shelves. Just make sure when you're inserting these that you have the overhang so it's facing the front and facing downwards. We'll just slide those on top of our pins. Okay, we're good to move on. In steps 18 and 19, we're attaching the hinges and the handles to all of the doors. We've already done these three, but we'll show you how to do it on this one. When you insert your hinges, you want to be sure that this little cup side goes into the hole on the door and lines up with both of those screw holes. And then we can put 2 screws into each one. All right, once you have both of those in, then we'll attach the handle. So we'll just stand up the door on its side. And just be sure that you have the handle so it's on the front side of the door. We'll insert both of our screws. And then screw these into our handle. All right, and then we're good to move on. In steps 20 and 21, we'll be attaching the doors. We've already done the other 3, but we'll show you how to do this one. So first, we'll start by putting in one of our screws. And then we'll line that up with our first hole on the piece. And then we're good to screw this one in. Don't tighten it completely until you get the other ones in. And then we'll put a screw in the bottom as well, just to help hold the door on. And then we're good to put in the rest of our screws. All right, and once all of our screws are in, we can check to make sure that our door looks straight. Ours looks pretty good, but if you need help adjusting your hinges, you can check out our video on that. But otherwise, we're done. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your new sideboard. For more guides, tips, and tricks, head on over to walkeredison.com.